Crave at Meltdown 20th Conference this year.
There you go with the hands.
Right, introduce yourself. Come on.
I'm Andy from Crave.
And what do you do?
I play guitar.
I'm Dave, and I play drums. I'm Trevor, and I also play guitar.
Andy sings. I am Scott, and I play bass and sing.
Is that Andy sings or Andy sings?
We might need captions for people who don't understand Northern Irish. But,
Yeah,
you what?
as long as you don't go really fast, we'll be okay. Slow down, okay. Right, so we were talking about how you came to form as a band and what your aims were. So I understand you started off in another band to start with.
The band that we were in before Crave kind of went on to go was a band called Interior Motive. It was sort of, I guess it was rock, but it was kind of probably lighter rock, maybe sort of, I guess, sort of Caedmon's Call, Castle and Crowns, maybe that kind of level of rock was just isn't the same kind of rock. So that's how we started off. It was just the three of us, myself and Trev and Dave. And we just took some songs that really didn't work in Interior Motive and practiced them out and started to do them in Crave. And I guess the first gig we did was at Summer Madness, wasn't it? In 2004, 2005?
2004?
Yeah.
You guys have been going a while.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's really just gone on from there. But we were chatting about this last night, about the driving factor in the band, and to our shame, we're sort of saying at least at the start, the thing that made us want to kind of continue as a three-piece was there was 5 in Interior Motive and two left at the same time, and we did feel at the heart of it we knew we had something else to offer. We had something else to say as a band and as musicians, but there was, I guess, it was also the element of, the people that were there before. I think they left and thought that we would just sort of crumble and fall apart at the seams. So there maybe was an element of we've got something to prove even to ourselves as individuals that we could just restructure and do things as a three-piece, which was a huge change for us. So that's how we kind of started off. And I think after Summer Madness, which really flopped. And I think our first gig was really bad.
It was bad. It was really bad.
There was a song called Goodbye, Good Night.
Yeah. Is that the one you stopped into?
And I may as well have said goodbye and good night because I completely forgot the chorus. I just stopped playing, turned the guitar and just stood there.
We still get those moments, by the way.
Here we are, 5 years later. Jeff, here's the chorus coming up.
Of course. But so that's, I think that probably happened for a reason. I think God really humbled us at that point. And then we sort of recognised it as a band in terms of youth ministry, that God had a job for us. Gigs and stuff started coming in, and then it just sort of naturally just happened then, rather than we had originally been booked for Summer Madness that year as Interior Motive, and we wanted to honour that. Well, basically we wanted to play that slot as something. We didn't know quite what, but we didn't want to go to Summer Madness and say we're not doing it now. We still wanted to play. So I think that's how Crave was born anyway.
And even though it was a flop, it still got really class encouragement. You just often wonder where people's ears were, but that was okay. It's your first gig. I mean, that's three-piece and all. It's difficult. I know, but sure, you forgot the chords for half a song. It's early days. It was that kind of vibe. We weren't encouraged. Nobody said that. No, boys. We learn from this. Just stop. We decided to keep going. But yeah.
So how did you hook up with the radio station? Because that was quite a big deal. I think it helped launched.
Yeah, I definitely did.
What happened? You hooked up with a radio station.
It was a competition every year. Well, they've been doing it every year. That was the last year that they did it. I don't think it's any reflection on us. But it was like a locally, they call it like locally grown competition. It's like a national radio.
That's locally grown, not locally grown. It's just
Scott will talk and we'll do like translation
Hold
over
it.
here. Interpret.
Are you seriously telling me that Dave was going to interpret?
Narn yet.
Anyway, so we just got a song and that we have recorded with Trev Michael in the time that was spent in Eastbourne, and was sent it off to the radio station and put it into his other bands. It wasn't a Christian competition or a band competition. It was just open to all bands in Northern Ireland. And we put in, and he just basically went online and people voted for the song, and we won the competition. Which basically it just meant that they played us on radio on their A list for like a week. So it just got us a bit of exposure, and then we got to know a couple of. It turned out God was definitely working there. It turns out there's a couple of folk here still involved with the radio station, quite high up in the management, that are Christians. Carl Kinsman and Olga Kinsman, and they've been super to us like over the years. They've been so good, and playing other stuff from our first album on the radio and on their own shows, and playing stuff from We're Waiting Games, our second album. They've been really gracious and really helped us out. So that link is still there, and they're like, when he's recording again, and get his stuff in. So that's how the link started, and it's just really just developed in terms of friendship and fellowship with the people working there, which is great. Cool.
So you came over to Britain this year and did several big festivals. Do you want to remind us which ones they were?
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to. I mean,
As soon as I remember.
Do you want to remind us?
Yeah, we were. The hands. No. Hey. Yeah. We did do a few festivals.
Start at the start.
Urban Impact was.
Start at the start.
I started at the start. Urban Impact, yes, that was the first one. When was Urban Impact? Town called Beverly, wasn't it?
It was Beverly.
It was Beverly, yeah.
Ali Crompton, good man. Ali Crompton. Yeah. Still keep in touch with Ali. He's a good guy.
Urban Impact, then we went on to do the Skyfest in Biddulph, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was a weird one.
Yeah. That was
not weird as in the venue was weird, but
that was
just
supporting Hawkwind.
Yes. Yeah. Have you ever heard of Hawkwind?
Yeah.
It was the guy just remember us out of the blue. We were practicing one night. We'd literally been praying that night, God, about giving us gigs. We didn't want to be pushing, things we weren't meant to be pushing at. We just left it open, and this guy rang me on my mobile in the middle of the practice. It was really random, and I was just like, I've got this English number coming up on the phone. Went into Dave's kitchen.
English number.
Yeah, but English people generally don't ring me unless I've done something wrong. Tell Mr. McCown. No.
Bit of self-defense.
So yeah, you don't really know where to go to. And it was the guy. What was the guy's name? Chris Connolly rang, and he's just looking us to play it. This new festival that we're putting together in Biddulph.
Was it a Christian festival?
No,
was it?
No, it wasn't a Christian festival at all. Which is one of the reasons I said to him, like, why or how did you find out about us? I think he was actually probably in all likelihood he was looking for the band called The Crave, which is slightly different from.
But there is a band called The Crave. Okay.
You're doing really well. But
So he wasn't really disappointed when you turned up. He was like, where's the band? Yeah, where are they? Yeah. Who are you guys?
No, well, they obviously knew we were from Northern Ireland. As soon as I started talking, he realised we were from Northern Ireland. But no, he was totally dead on. Still wanted us to play. He says, "Now we're not The Crave. We are Crave. So if you're booking us, you're booking Crave. You're not booking The Crave. So you understand we're not The Crave." Have we got that? Yeah. The Crave? No. We're not The Crave. Yeah. Okay.